Lin, Win, Stone, you're mad for this one. Welcome to the Tiki Bar, yeah. I want me say, BYOB. I that me say, pure good vibes as soon as you reach. No disrespecting, so watch your speech. 6 p.m. sharp, no one got belly. Every Saturday, girl, them bring the jelly. Sing out, tiki, 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 tiki. As you arrive, respect each other. Step up to the bar, we are sister and brother. Nobody bring no bad mind thing in our convo. I deal in the big and show free admission, don't be late. Open door policy, no apology. Winstone and Lynn, your friendly bartenders. Real people here, no pretenders. Nights with friends, no hidden agendas. We talk the things, the red spot the things, them. Make we laugh, joke, cry if we have to. Big people things, turn up if we have to. Welcome to the Tiki Bar, yeah. I want me say, BYOB. I got me say, pure good vibes as soon as you reach. No disrespecting, so watch your speech. 6 p.m. sharp, no one no belly. Every Saturday, a gal bring the jelly. Sing out, Tiki, 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 Tiki Bar. Sing again. Bye. Welcome to the Tiki Bar. I want me say, BYOB. I got me say, pure good vibes as soon as you reach. No disrespecting, so watch your speech. 6 p.m. sharp, no one no belly. Every Saturday, girl, they bring the jelly. Sing on, tiki, 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 tiki bar. So.
Well, go on, family. Welcome to the Tiki Bar. I want to say, welcome to another episode of the Tiki Bar, second one for 2026 season. Welcome in, blessings. Auntie! Auntie, early this time. Yeah, man. AG, Miss TT, everybody in the building. Yeah, man. Vibrant style in the building. Yes, no, man. Welcome in. I got Simulation in the backyard, hanging out. Yeah, man. Him live with me, I don't know that, but he live in the backyard. But, him is a special operator, so me no really get to see him. That means him a do him job right, all right? Forward dish, blessings and welcome. Welcome into the live. Yeah, man. I'm going to go ahead and get you squared away so you can interact with the family. Yeah, man. Blessings and welcome to each and everyone to the chat. Well, me always go over the rules of the Tiki Bar. All right? So, how you get up to the bar now? How you getting at the bar? Tap the like button first. All right? So, once you tap the like button, security will give you a little armband. So if you're used to the club scene, you usually get a little armband. VIPs are the ones who step up to the bar. All right. But anyway, everybody can step up to the bar at any time they want. All right. And I have pinned the link in the chat. It should be at the top of the chat. So if you can't see it, I'm streaming from two different platforms, the horizontal and the vertical. All right. Oh, you want to see what the channel is about? Just go to my I can tell you that, but go to the description of my channel. My channel is about cooking, traveling, DIY projects. All right. But I also do the Tiki Bar live on Saturdays, where we just have a spirited discussion on any and everything. All right. So welcome in if it's your first time. Okay, and nothing wrong with that because we are connected with God, you know. So at the end of the day, you know, to each his own, but we are all connected with God. All right, so that's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You know, we don't really discuss religion, but we do believe in what we believe in, right? And we don't discount anybody. Enos, good evening or good afternoon where you are. You know, so as Auntie say, when you come over here, if you're new to the channel, make sure you eat first before you watch my videos because food for nyam and we have whole heap of food. All right. So you're gonna be hungry and you're gonna be complaining about the fact that, you know, too much food cook. All right. So yeah, welcome in house. Yeah. Hello. Glad you could stop in, you know. Hey, it doesn't matter. As long as you're reaching, you say hi, you tap the screen, you know, leave a like on the channel. I got my sister in the building, Raquel. Welcome, happy new year. Yes, I will definitely make you hungry. So that is my disclaimer. Okay. So hold on. Simulation, you never give me none of that food. Cause me cook fish last night. Me cook fish last night, you know. But I never catfish me cook. Me do some steam, well, some escovitch snapper. And me do some uh parrotfish. Me do some steam parrotfish. So me have fish, me have steam fish in the house, you know. So you never come in, you never leave the tent and come to the yard so you can get some of the food. So you not even have to do the catfish, you know? Hi, Season. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So, again, the ground rules are you can come up to the panel at any time if you want to join in the discussion, and we're going to talk about the discussion shortly. It is also scrolling across the bottom of the screen. So if you see my name and you see below my name, you will see the scroll that's going across. That is the topic of the night. All right, and we're gonna talk about that very shortly. Roshan, best up yourself. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, man, big up yourself, my brother. You know it, go already. We're there. So, again, anybody can come up to the bar at any time. Anybody can join the discussion. I do appreciate anyone that comes up on the panel, and you can join discussion freely. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. You can just have a blank screen or whatever emoji you have as your screen protector or whatever it is. All right. But you can join the discussion either verbally or you can respond to the comments or respond to the chat in the comments. All right. And we will try our best to make sure we acknowledge any questions you might have or any comments you might have. All right. I've also set it up so you can actually see all the comments in the live chat, so you don't miss a thing. So if I miss a question, somebody remind me, and I have me have all of my family there, so them are gonna let me know. Journey, blessings, and welcome, my sister. I got Mama Lynn in the building. She watch from in the bushes. I got Fluffy Diva in the building. Yeah, man. The original family. You know it go already, you know. So, again, what we ask is that if it's about respect, right? And we don't have to agree, but we can understand where everybody's opinion is, right? So respect each other's opinion. And that makes the conversation even better. See, Lynn show up early tonight. Hello, Cosmic. We see a number 3, Fluffy. Yeah, man. So I appreciate the raid. I appreciate everybody that's in the building tonight. You know, and that's what I say. Anytime you're ready, anybody can come up on the panel. And this is a topic that's probably near and dear to a lot of people. You call in the landlord. I'm here the landlord or she the landlord. You know. But anyway, at the end of the day, it's about respect. Respect each other's opinion and so forth. Oh, Ragoose. Oh my God. Look, this dude trying to take my crown already. Blessings, bro. Thank you so much, man. Look, Ragoose, that's not fair, brother. That's not fair. Because I can't I can't super chat myself. So I can't even fight with you right now. So you have to take advantage of the situation. So whoever else in the chat that you know, I'm gonna fight with Ragus tonight, but right now he got the crown, So usually it gets crazy. But we usually have a very spirited discussion. After about an hour of the discussion, we try to keep it to about 2 hours maximum, 1 hour minimum, depending on how the discussion is going. Okay, so it can go north, south, east, and west at any given time because we're at the bar. If you ever been to a bar, and again, there's a lot of Christians in here that don't drink and don't go to a bar, but you know, it can go south very quickly. But we maintain with professionalism, but we have fun at the same time. Cosmic blessings and welcome. You see, I can't even keep up with the chat right now.
Hello, everyone. I'm on the chat.
Yeah.
I'm working on the project. So.
Yeah, Lynn is working on a project right now, and I will show you guys what we're working on. We've been working on it all day. Something new for 2026. So I will show that to you guys a little bit later on, what she's actually upstairs working on. But she's in the chat. So say hi to Lynn. Say hi to Mama Lynn. Bless up, So anyway. So normally about the first 10-15 minutes of the tiki bar, we usually just kind of mix and mingle, because if you are new to the channel, or if you haven't been here for a while, because we clear up with mods. All right. If you're a content creator, make sure you link up. Just like when you're there at the bar, you meet somebody new, you talk to them and you say, "Oh, welcome. This is who I am," and so forth. So you kind of mix and mingle. So about the first 12 minutes. So maybe another 8 minutes. Maybe about 20 minutes total. So you can mix and mingle with somebody that you've never connected with before in the chat. All right. So if you see somebody new in the chat that you've never seen before, I'm going to give them a mod. And you can go over there, check out them channel, and you can interact and connect, right? Because it's a community, and we have fun, we enjoy each other's company, we support each other at the same time, so it's a good place to be. Again, you're there one bar, so and me telling already, if there's something that you say that's offensive, then security are gonna kick you out of the building. All right, I'm my own security, but everybody we see in the chat right now is my security as well. So anybody that has a mod can deal with a situation if it get out of hand. I when I say fire for that. I know if you see what my shirt say. Fire for that. So in time I drop the fire for that, that means I not agree with that. But at the same time, we're gonna have fun. All right. See there? Ragu said, no need for security. I have my German marching boots on. All right. See there? So I'm telling us that security tight in the building tonight. Yeah, man. So welcome into each and every one. As when we say, anyone can come up on the panel at any time. Once you decide to come up, I will add you to the screen, and let me know if I pin the chat in the description, which it should be at the top of the chat. So let me know if it's not there. I can go ahead and repin it. All right. So give me a hands up or a thumbs up if you can see where the link to the chat is. So I'll wait for that. Let me know what you guys see. And then I got some hashtags you can type in. So I'm gonna type one of the hashtags in so you guys kind of get an idea if you're new to the channel, right? So this unholiest of all. Oh my God, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem already.
No, I come in peace. I come in peace.
Or pieces.
No, not in pieces. I'm wearing my German marching. I forgot to let my mustache grow, but that's another story. So playing with German stereotypes.
I was gonna say, don't grow the mustache.
No, don't worry about that.
I mean, it is wintertime though. You're supposed to have some facial hair, and we're going into February.
Yeah, the problem is that my hair is so bright that you cannot even see that I'm growing a beard with over 50. So
Oh, I
I can sit,
understand.
I can sit pretend to be a teenager. Happy New Year, my
Rogers, it's
man.
been a while, man. How are you, brother?
I'm good. I just thought, I just finished a set. I just played a little music and did an hour or something. I wasn't online for quite a while due to several reasons. So I thought, let's go back to the streets and just came back to the streets like between Christmas and New Year properly. And then I saw the Master of Crowns is online. So how would I miss that opportunity to say hello at least? And good evening, chat. Good evening, everyone. And so me and Winston, we have this crown thing going on. We always battle each other in a funny way, I have to say. And I had a very privileged couple of months ago to spontaneous as today join the panel and have a little chat. And we had a good laugh and always privileged to watch you, man. And as I wrote in the chat before, I don't want to disturb people with my appearance because otherwise, the white minority.
Oh no. Everyone is welcome in, and that's the thing I appreciate because that. Again, I say you guys are the ones that make this live what it is, and being up here and giving your opinion, it makes the chat what it is, So, since I have you up here, I'm just gonna go ahead and start because I think we're literally about 60 minutes in, and I wanted to give out the topic so everybody know what's up. So when they come up here on the chat, they know exactly what's going on. So. Usually, I'm going to start with this. Usually by February, most New Year's resolutions are completely dead, right? So tonight we're asking, are resolutions like real motivation, or are we just lie to ourselves every year, Are we lying to ourselves every year? Are we just saying it just because we say it? And, it's December, I'm going to change my whatever habits I have and start something new. But usually by February, it's gone. Everybody's back to square one and the norm, So first thing I want to ask you is introduce your channel and then tell me what your New Year's resolution is.
Okay, so my name, the channel name is called The World of Ragos, and I've also been called the unholiest of all, or Father Ragos, or whatever, because I'm the unofficial YouTube Pope, but that's a long story to take here. So I'm doing a lot of music and have started to produce music by myself. You can watch it on my channel or you can watch it on Spotify, wherever you want. My New Year's resolution. Okay, let me keep it as family friendly as I possibly can at this time of the day. So I was actually, like every year, and Winston has phrased it so great, I'm lying to myself between December 15th and January 31st in regards of doing more sports, and all that stuff. And then end of January, I think, next year is another year as well. So still, because I love cooking and I love eating, as you can see, and
Right.
I'm not the top one. Well, actually, I've actually been, Winston, this is great news, and you might be very proud of me, but I've actually been selected for the cover picture of a fitness magazine.
Really?
As the before photo, yes. so it had, sorry, I just couldn't resist. So no, but on a serious note, I don't do New Year's resolutions anymore because it is not worth it. But I always try, regardless the New Year resolution, I always try to become a little better person on a daily basis if I can. But then sometimes my sense of humor kicks me back, and it's as you just heard. But maybe also comparing that to YouTube. I mean, during the last year, 2025, I've met a lot of awesome people who helped me to get my channel monetized and to get me on the streets properly, so to speak. And interestingly, and I said that on Goga's channel, you have been guest there too. I've been guest there a while before you. So that is the ongoing joke that the stereotype of Africa is it's a so-called third world. I hate that word. But anyway, the funny thing was the third world helped. So in regards of YouTube, 1 year ago, I was the third world, and the so-called third world, the African people from the community that I'm proud to be part of, they helped me to get running, to get this thing running into the right directions. And this is the ongoing joke between me and Goga, that the third world helped, that I was the third world and got help from the third world. And that is that is the best joke ever. Obviously, I hate, to be honest, I hate this phrase, the third world, because for me that doesn't exist. And the people who I've met here on YouTube, and Mr. Winston is one of them, I have to say I'm very blessed with those people who I had the opportunity to meet and talk to and learn from, and also just have a good laugh. And I mean, come on, the word is sad enough, and I think having a good laugh, that would be a good New Year's resolution for everyone, because everyone is able to make a joke or laugh on something that you can see online. And so I think that is a good thing to do. And maybe to let other people also give a chance to come up here and not being too bored by the white minority on your screen here. Let me just finish a phrase with a phrase that I've heard recently, and maybe that gives us the thoughts that we can maybe rethink the evolution again, because I've heard that recently and I found it so funny. If women are always right and men are always wrong, and if a man then says the woman is right, is he then wrong?
Message.
Philosophical thought on a Saturday night. and I know, Winston, you are very believing. You're very much into the Holy Book. But so I have recently found out that if Adam and Eve were Asian, we would all still be in paradise, because they would have ignored the apple and eaten the snake in the first place. So therefore, okay, now you can blame me. If you go to church tomorrow, blame me for everything, and then you can get better sleep. Winston, I will give the space to the others and in the chat. I would like to say one thing.
I wanted to ask you a question though before.
Sure, go ahead.
Again, since you're the first one up here, and I'm sure there's going to be people joining in later on, but why do you think people keep making resolutions? Like, people know resolutions usually fail, so why do we keep making them?
I think, well, I can only speak for myself, but I think it is also very much combined with hope, and not necessarily only for a new year. So let's say someone is in a very tricky situation and they say, dear God or whoever, if you help me out of this situation, I will do this and this and this for sure, and and so I think with the New Year's resolutions, it is very much combined with hope, because obviously January 1st, as I always say, the insanity starts all over again from the very beginning of the new year, and people really have hopes for a new year. Let things get better. Let me be better economically. Let me be better in health, or let me have this and this. Maybe how do you say this discrepancies between me and that person out of the way, or something like that. Let me have more peace. Let whatever happen. I think it is very much combined with hopes, and maybe they say, okay, if I do this and lose weight, maybe then I can also get a better job or whatever thing. So I think it's more. I think maybe we should not call it resolutions. Maybe we should call it a wish list, or a bunch of wishes for a certain period of time, which is a new calendar year. To be honest, I did not do any New Year's resolutions. Today is January the 11th. Already in Germany, we are past midnight, and for me that means I would have failed anyway if I would have gone to the gym. And I did not want to show up in the gym in the first week of January, because I know I would have paid the whole year in advance and only show up for the first 2 weeks in January or something, and that is wasted money. No, but on a serious note, I think New Year's resolutions, actually they're good for the heart. You know, you have a wish, you have a plan, you try something or you want to try something. If it then fails or not, I think the most important thing is to stay healthy as good as you possibly can, go through the year, stay friendly to one another, and not try to be a butthole, because I think that is wasted time of life. And if you can do that little things, at least to try to be a better person towards others and towards yourself, then I think that would be the best New Year's resolution. You can do work on that every single day, 365 days a year.
Hmm. And it's kind of funny you mentioned that, because I was literally just about to ask you, because it seems like January is more of a emotional marketing kind of month more than it is a
It is.
resolution month, right? Because I remember just a couple of days ago, I went to my local watering hole. Well, I won't say watering hole, my liquor store. I just I just put it that way. And right next to it is a gym. Uh,
Mm.
it's a Planet Fitness, one of those very popular gyms. And I couldn't find a parking spot in that location because literally every spot was taken up and everybody was going to the gym. And it seems like it's the same exact thing every year. So
Go the next week and it's empty.
yeah, yeah, it's empty. Yeah, in like by February, yeah, I can park my vehicle sideways in the parking spots. I can take up like 3 or 4 parking spots.
Exactly,
You know.
exactly. But talking about liquor store, funny enough, I stopped drinking in October 24
Hmm.
entirely. I mean, I was never an addict or something, but obviously I'm in Munich. We talked about Oktoberfest and all that things. So I had my last beer on October the 5th, 2024, on the last day of Oktoberfest that year, and didn't touch any alcohol ever again since then.
Hmm.
And that was without me planning it. There was no resolution involved. It was just just don't like the taste anymore. So I didn't touch any alcohol anymore since then. So that's almost like 1.5 years now. And interestingly, I was on Oktoberfest 2025, drinking lemonade and all that stuff, and
Hmm.
still enjoyed them very much. And I saved a shitload of money, to be honest, because the prices here are raising like there's no tomorrow, especially on Oktoberfest. One Stein now costs like nearly
I remember.
16 euro now. And so, being honest, I prefer to drink something proper, like without alcohol, and I don't have a headache. I'm also not 21 anymore. I'm 22 now, so you feel the hangover a little longer than usual. So I'm into that. So the only bad habit I have left is quit smoking, and I don't even bother to put that as a New Year's resolution. That has to come spontaneously because it doesn't work.
Yeah, and it's what I found it's actually more about lifestyle changes than it is about a resolution,
Yeah,
because for you it was a lifestyle change. You were like, look, I don't like alcohol anymore. It's not important to me. I'd rather spend my money on something else. So
yeah.
you did a whole lifestyle change
Oh yeah, and I
where
don't quit.
it's not every January you're like, all right, I'm gonna stop drinking, and then
Yeah,
by February,
yeah.
it's kind of funny. One of my friends asked me today. We were a couple of the guys came by. We went to the range and we were hanging out afterwards, and he said, I thought you quit drinking. He said, I thought you took a break from drinking. I said, yeah, last night when I went to bed, that was my break.
Yeah, the thing is, there is this joke with who is it? Kanye West. It went viral all over the place, and so someone is there like, what would you do? What would happen if we stopped drinking immediately and never touch beer anymore? And then you see Kanye West on the stage raising a glass and say, "I guess we never know."
We never.
That's one of the funny things, but no, honestly. I have no problems doing that. And also in 2025, I started losing weight without having a resolution. I just went to my doctor and said, "Hey, give me this injection. Come on, off you go." So I started, and I lost 18 kilograms within like for 4.5, 5 months. And well, I have to pay for it, but it's way cheaper than in the US or Canada, as I heard. So it's okay, and it's still I still can enjoy the food. That's a good thing. But
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
but I have to eat less because I cannot keep it. I cannot take it anymore. So
Hmm.
that's a good thing. And maybe in summer I will start some sports, but definitely not in January.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's definitely a marketing strategy because most one of the things I noticed too, I went to the store, me and Lynn went to the store, and literally we walked in and everything. So like in December, it was all electronics and all these different. So as soon as you walk in the store, it's electronics and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Literally, we walk into the same store and it's all protein powders and all this other stuff. So the marketing strategy is there because they know people are like, okay, December is over. I'm gonna. This is it right here. January 1st. I'm done with whatever bad thing I was doing.
Yeah.
And everybody rotates to that. And the marketing strategy is there because they're like, okay, yeah, people are going to spend more money on gym memberships and protein powders and all this other vegan meals and all this other stuff. And then by February, they're like, maybe this is not as sustainable as I thought it would be.
What I'm asking myself is, when I prepare myself a nice piece of steak, and the water is, flooding in my mouth because I'm looking forward to eat it, does a vegan feel the same when the grass is mowed or something? So, I mean,
to each his own, right? And it's like at the end of the day, I never like discount or chastise people for what they like or what they eat or whatever. I always tell people, as long as you don't try to force me to your side, I don't care what you do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, interestingly, the mother of a good friend of mine, he just got freshly engaged, and he introduced her to his mom, and she's a vegan. And but I witnessed that I drove him home one day, and then to meet his mother and stuff, and because we know each other for a long time and all that, so she asked, "Hey, what about Christmas? Is this food disabled person coming as well?" And I was like, hallelujah, one person that understands. No, I mean, whatever pleases you most, you have fun doing it. But I'm totally with you. Just don't try to military or be a militant one and try to get me there and force me to do certain things.
So let me big up a couple of people in the chat. So we have a whole bunch of people in the chat. We got the Hen House, Martell Adventure TV, David Hunt's in the building, Mr. Okra himself. David don't like okra, but we always give him hell about it. Belt Loop, welcome in.
Blessed Life Journey is in the building.
I got Belt Loop in the building. I got Miss Auntie, Miss G, my favorite auntie in the building. I got Journey. I got Reds in the building. I got Miss TT. So many people in the building. Let me know if I missed anybody. I just want to acknowledge everybody before we get back to the conversation. I got YouTube Police in the building. Banana Man Studio. I don't know why people keep coming up with these banana names, but okay, it is what it is.
Because most likely they are part of the Beans and Banana Church of mine.
I got Jedi Bob Studios, Desert Living in the building. So welcome, Wolf and Snort is in the building. So welcome to each and everybody in the building. Belt Loop, thank you for coming up here, man. And I wanted to acknowledge part of the simulation because people are not everybody's gonna come up on the channel, but people are actually leaving their comments. So part of the simulation just happened to mention that most resolutions fail because if change is important to a person, they don't decide to do it based on a date. Tomorrow is not promised, so make the change the same day you decide it's necessary.
Yeah.
So,
could you pause that? Hang on.
All right, Mr. Winston, I will leave the channel to you and the others. It was a pleasure, as always, to see you.
Okay, my brother. Thank you for checking in.
My wish for your resolution is there are two that maybe you can consider to your New Year's resolutions. First of all, keep being yourself, man. You bring joy to the world, and
thank you.
Stop stealing the crowns because you're making me sell my kidneys one day because I'm gonna be broke.
I'm very competitive. That's all I can say. I'm very competitive.
You are indeed. It was a pleasure, guys, and wishing all of you a happy New Year, and we see each other soon again. Have a good one. Thanks for having me.
You too, brother.
Hang on, don't leave, brother. Don't leave. I just got up here to say hello, what have you, and we got two really cool, accents. Two really cool accents up here. I figured
three.
Well,
three.
Oh, he sounds like he may be, I don't know, German maybe.
I am.
All right. Wow, I'm on fire tonight. one from the Caribbean, you know, and then one redneck, I reckon. And so it just seems
It's like the United Nations of accents, right?
I was about to get my simultaneous. I was about to get my simultaneous translator activated, but you know, so sorry for that. I just cannot resist. So, guys, no, I really got to go. It's after midnight here, and I have a birthday party to host tomorrow. I'll be the MC, and therefore, Unfiltered Maria's birthday it is. In case you have nothing to do. It's 11 a.m. Florida time. I don't know what time that is over there, guys. But in case you want to stroll up and have some fun, see the white guy doing the stuff what they can do best. Talking like there's no tomorrow. Having a good one, everyone. And
all right, Raghu, thank you, man.
One last one. That just came into my mind. If you're good at your job,
and it's not a job,
why don't you hide from your boss? Because good employees are hard to find, right? Have a good one, everyone. Have a good weekend.
all right.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Cover the good ones.
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. So, Bet Loop in the building. So, I'm gonna ask you the same question. You know, just kind of for the people that are new to the chat, introduce your channel and then tell us what your New Year's resolution is.
All right. Well, can I do something first? Can I ask you to take? I mean, that's a good comment and everything, but I'm having trouble seeing you, and I like to look at Winston.
My beautiful face. Okay, let me go ahead
and you
can see me now.
you should adjust it. Hey, I'd like to see you right dead center.
There you go.
Right dead. In fact, chaos surrounds me, right? So I'm nothing ever seems
smaller.
Quite right. So that way, maybe I'm there. Maybe it's sized perfectly now to the center of the circle. Hey, if you start using OBS, you can send put yourself in the center too. Make yourself big, small.
Yeah, I'm going to I'm letting Red do all the training first, and then I'm gonna go over to him and let him show me everything I need to know. He's been going through it. So once he gets it all down, I'm gonna be like, Reds, get me squared away.
There we go. You may have to hire him as like a director or something on the, have him administrator and just have him running all the stuff in the background. He certainly is working hard at it.
Oh no, he's working hard at it. So I'm like, you know what? It's for me. Why duplicate it when I can just ask somebody that's already gone through it? You know what I'm saying?
There you go. The fact is, and it looked like there at the end, maybe he had Nina able to get up there. They need to see what they can do though about, there was a little bit of reverb on it. And, I don't know. I don't know how to do all that stuff. I can do some stuff with OBS. It ain't that hard, but they're getting a whole lot deeper, a whole lot more, in depth than I know how to do.
I haven't even scratched the surface of StreamYard yet. So, I know it's gonna be a learning curve, but I'd rather, like I said, I'm kind of sitting there watching him go through the process, and I'm like, okay, Reds, get it right. As soon as you get it right, I'm gonna call you, because that's what I did with StreamYard. Like when I started using StreamYard, I actually asked some Reds and a couple other people, like, hey, how do I navigate this thing? And they've already gone through it, so it makes it easier for me.
Well, I've noticed there are a lot of good people on here helping in one direction or another. So the culmination, the grouping together, 2 minds is better than 1, and 20 is just chaos. So,
organized chaos, as they call it sometimes, right?
That's right. No, I don't really do resolutions. I figure, hey, I was pretty good last year. Why not be pretty good this year? So, or maybe I'm just thinking that there's no way I'll follow through on it, and why start something you can't finish? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know why I don't do resolutions. Do you do resolutions?
Honestly, I don't, because if I'm going to do it, I'm just going to do it. I'm the kind of person where I don't like Simulation mentioned in his comment. I don't focus on the date, like, because if I do, I realize if the date passes, then I feel kind of disgusted in myself that I didn't follow up on the date that I said. Because I'm a very, like, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, you know. And it's so crazy that it's harder for us to do things for ourselves than it is to do things for other people, you know. So if I say I'm going to do something for someone, if I don't like to be late, I like to be on time, like things like that, I'm very adamant about. But when it's something to do with me, I'm more reserved to not do it when I say I'm going to do it. You know, at some point I kind of because I'm always reevaluating myself. And at some point I was like, you know what, I need to get this done, and I do it, you
Yeah.
know. But I feel like when you set a date, and there's, like I said, just for example, my buddy asked me today, he's like, I thought she was taking a break from drinking. And I was like, yeah, I did last night when I went to bed, you know. That was my break, you know. But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like I feel like you're putting pressure, you're putting pressure on yourself that is not required, you know. And then when you don't make that deadline or whatever you put on yourself, you kind of feel bad about yourself, you know.
Yeah, I think you're right. It kind of sets you up for failure. Um, I tend to be a bit of an overachiever. Maybe I'm an underachiever. I don't know. When I get my mind set to something, it's a lot of times it's the only thing I can think about. When it gets to YouTube, you know, I tend to go. It seems like I'm going live every day, but to me, this is, you know, and I guess I am whenever I'm not working a double. But you know, I get up in the morning, I think, well, I need to go live. I need to go live, so I go live after I grab my coffee. When I went to the police academy, you know, I wasn't sure when I was going to have to be in shape. So as soon as I put in my application, I started, you know, working out. By the time I actually got to where I could even put in my took the entrance test, I was already where I could pass the PT test. I have a tendency to obsess, I guess, over things, and you know, if I have a specific date to work towards, every day I feel like I'm you know, that's one day less. And so I have a tendency to try to do all I can to think about and focus on and accomplish that goal. But it's like when I don't have anything to work towards, for example, I need to get back in shape. I'm out of shape, but you know, I don't have a specific date that I have to be in shape by. So every day it's like, ooh, lasagna, nice. Ooh, key lime pie. Let me have more slice of that. So it's, you know, I can start that tomorrow. You know, so I'm better.
There's always tomorrow, right?
That's right. I'm always better at putting off, you know, resolutions than I am starting. So, but once I started, you know, I guess one time I dropped 27 pounds in 28 days, and if I'd have weighed in a little bit earlier, it would have been 28 pounds in 28 days.
So you know you can do it. You know you can accomplish whatever you decide to do. It's just, and that leads me to my next question. Like, you know, do you think most people just lack motivation, or they just lack discipline? You know, and that's for the chat too. Do you think people just lack motivation, or is it discipline? You know, what do you feel about that?
That's a hard question to answer. For me, it's just being plain old obstinate. You know, and that's where it comes in to, like I was talking about. I don't know if I'm overachiever or underachiever. If I set my mind to something, typically I accomplish it. But for me, that also tends to be an obsession. And I don't know that when I decide, for example, that I want to drop weight, You know, I don't weigh myself on a scale. I do when I start, just because of the fact I want to see a starting point. But you know, the number is irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
The number is irrelevant. It's just a question of how I feel and the purpose behind the wanting to drop weight and get in better shape.
Right.
The rest is going to happen as it goes. And so, you know, let's see. There's an internal battle we have in stressful occupation. I live by a quote I created. They think I'm intense. They think I'm intense because I'm stressed. I'm actually stressed because I refuse to be anything less. I like that. That is awesome. As far as sayings are concerned, I don't mind throwing out a saying too. It ain't mine though. I didn't create it. It's just something that has motivated me, or I try to keep in mind. And that is an old saying from what I understand. I was sad because I had no shoes until I met the man who had no feet.
Ah.
And it is just a saying that tries to keep into point perspective.
Mm-hmm.
There's always somebody better off, and there's always somebody worse off. So,
and I agree. That is I say that all the time. You know, every time you think you have it bad, somebody has it worse than you. You know, so be thankful for what you have. You know, at the end of the day.
Yes, sir. But I guess if I had to say it, maybe I don't know.
So do you think resolutions are just ego goals for social media? You know, we live in a world of social media right now, and you know, everyone is getting on social media and saying, "Yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing that." Do you think that's it has gotten to that point now where, you know, people were doing resolutions before. This is not a new thing, right? People have been doing resolutions forever, and it seems like it's more geared towards social media now than it is so it's kind of like that sympathetic response people are looking for, right? Like, hey, you know, I gain or whatever the resolution is, because I think one of the biggest resolutions people have is to lose weight and be healthier. I feel like if you did a poll, the biggest one would be, you know, I want to lose weight and be in better shape, right? I think we all aspire to do that. But do you think a lot of people now are more geared towards that social media end game versus just being committed to a goal?
Well, that's a great question. The fact is, I think a lot of people say things because they want to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, you know, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if people went through and they would say, this is my goal because they want other people to look good at them. I was raised in a way that, you know, if you want to do something to help somebody, and I guess this is not quite the same thing, but it is about focus. If, you know, it's like the story of the old woman, you know, in the Bible that talks about an old woman who gave 2 coins. Her reward was not here on earth. Her reward was later on in heaven. She didn't do it for the recognition.
Mm-hmm.
She did it for what it meant to be doing it, to help other people. And I think there are a lot of people out there that their whole goal is just to make a splash. Now, I think there are some people out there that truly have a good heart, and their desire. And I guess for me, that's a lot of what I focus on. Losing weight, all that, you know, losing weight, getting healthy, and all this kind of stuff. You know, that it's something to do, I reckon. But I guess most of my trivia things, the older I get.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, look at it like this. Let's say that you saved your money to buy you a brand new Corvette.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go to the store, you know, or to the car store, the Autoplex, whatever, and you know where your parking spot is and where your car is, or the car you're going to buy, you're sitting there money in hand, ready to go buy this thing. But you drive by, or you have to walk by this old Yugo. And a Yugo is actually a car that was made in Yugoslavia back in,
I remember the Yugo. Yeah.
the 80s. Well, there's probably a lot of folks never heard of a Yugo. Anyhow, because it was a piece of crap. Anyhow, cheaply made car, but it cost cheap too, and that was why, because it was cheap. Anyhow, do you stop and they shouldn't have this high price on this Yugo. They, look at that. Do you stop and complain about all the stuff on the stuff you're not interested in? No, you don't. You go over, does that also mean you walk over to the Corvette and say, oh, God, drooling, sell me this car, charge me too much, send me a warranty. No, you have a tendency to, you're not automatically jumping in there telling them, typically most folks is going to, I don't know. It's awful fast and dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
The insurance is really high. If you're buying a brand new Corvette, you ain't worried about the insurance.
That's true.
But people have a tendency. I think human nature is to go through and let's see. I'm in the other chat, but I wanted to say hi.
Hi. Yeah.
Hi, Desert Living Nina. But I think that a lot of times people make resolutions. I can see where you're going with that, and it's not something I've ever thought about.
Right. And some people don't call it resolutions. And actually, that's kind of segue into my next question is like, do you think people should be embarrassed about quitting, or should they be encouraged to try again? At the end of the day.
Quitting on the resolution, or?
Yeah. Or just on your resolution. Like, you make a resolution, and like I said, most resolutions by February, regardless of what it is, it's dead in the water. At the end of the day, people come up and they figure out, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. And if it's kind of not going their way by February, it's like, and that's kind of, I kind of looked up the statistics of it, and it shows that by February, most people that have made a resolution to do whatever they decided to do eventually quit by then. So should they be embarrassed by that, or should they just be encouraged to try again?
Well, I think if it was a resolution that they picked for because of the fact that it was a good thing to do, whether they are embarrassed or they ought to try again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, things just keep popping through my head one direction and the other, and I can't always, keep them straight. I think that a lot of people, is hard because of the fact that the brain makes these pathways, and what is normal to one person is going to be unique to them.
Somebody else, yeah.
And it's hard to grow new pathways, but I've heard tell that if you can do the same activity like 29 times, or maybe it's 30 or 31, but somewhere in that time frame, then it brings a new pathway.
Mm-hmm.
You just keep from letting it divert back down that old pathway in the brain. There's people that suffer from alcoholism. There's people that's, drug addiction. Some of these things are really hard to beat.
Mm-hmm.
They can be done, but, it takes dedication and determination.
Yeah, absolutely.
And anything worth doing ain't always going to be easy.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, like Henhouse said, if you don't try, then you fail, right? And I feel like, because we're so used to, and again, between November, especially if you live in the States, between November and January is like the most commercialized season, right? The most commercialized November, December, January. It's like the most commercialized, actually October, right? October, November, December, January. It's like the most commercialized time of the year. So you got Halloween, you know, candy season, right? You got Thanksgiving, you know, you got Christmas and other religious holidays in December. And then January, you just drop all that nonsense that you was doing in the last 3 months and just 180, right? You expect it to go, okay, so I just destroyed my body for the last 3 months, and then boom, you know, I'm supposed to just, and
Maybe,
people do it every year. They do it, it's a continuous cycle, you know?
maybe we should start our resolutions at the end of February. Just thinking, or at the beginning of
That's a
February.
good point.
You
That's a
know,
good point.
after
So at least between February and October, you have at least a good what? 6-7
right,
months of doing the right thing.
right. After all, if you think about it, anything with moderation, so you could just consider October, November, December, and January
Your
is
cheat months. Your
two
cheat months.
9 months, and then you do without for the rest of the year.
You should patent that, actually, because that's actually a good idea. Because like if yeah, because you figure, what is it, 12 months in the year?
Yeah,
If you do 8 months of what you're supposed to do, then you got 4 months to just cheat, and then you go back to 8. You're on the plus side anyway, right?
it works for me. You know, I'm gonna have to start doing that.
Hey, chat, you heard it here first. Bet Loop said it here first. All right. Resolution should start in February, and we maintain it till October, and then you get your, just like the gym, right? Everybody goes to the gym and they got a cheat day, right? Every week you got a cheat day where you just eat what you want. So
Well, yeah, you don't want your body to feel like you're doing without. So, you know, there's a time and place for everything. And, you know, fact is, I'm glad I thought about that now, because I just brought home a key lime pie from my mama's house.
did it make it?
Well, most of it made it. Most of it made it. It's missing one
Most
side.
of it.
So, you know, I'll have to take a picture of it later for you. If there's any left.
That one slice that's so let's see. Let me go into the chat. So Henhouse says, I think consistency is key. Marines and Army moms in the building, welcome in.
Good to see you. Pleasure and an honor.
Let's see. I'm just gonna go through some of the chats right here. Belt Loops. Let's start off your yeah. See, I think a lot of people agree. So in the chat that, you know, I never thought about it like that before. The way you said it, that like, okay, let's take 8 months out of the year and not, you know, have our 4 months of cheat time, and then just kind of just do the right thing for the rest of the next 8 months. You're on the plus. You're on the plus, as they say. You know,
you're spending twice as much time being good as bad. So, you know, twice as much time being good. It's like you're doubling.
Yeah. That's an interesting concept. Look, anybody that wants to come up on the live too, you guys are truly welcome to come up. Again, make sure you just leave a like, and you can come up at any time. You can join the stage. So let's go back. Let's continue this conversation. And you actually answered one of the questions I had already. So, I mean, where do people? Again, most as we know, most resolutions fail. Is it like a mental thing to call it a resolution? Like, you know, it's kind of getting to people's heads. Like, okay, I'm gonna make a New Year's resolution, and then just that word alone just kind of change your mindset. Like, okay, if I don't make it, then I'm a failure. Or, you know, should I not even just call it a resolution? Just call it a lifestyle change. You know, is it better to do a lifestyle change than it is to do a resolution?
Well, I think it's better to have a lifestyle change than it is a resolution. In fact, I've heard it said that women have diets, men have what is it? a lifestyle change or a lifestyle, I think. And the fact is, part of the problem is a lot of people's self-esteem maybe is caught up in that, and they find themselves, doing something. I look at it like this, and this may be a good way, or it may be a bad way, depending on the person and the way they're looking at it. And this is one thing that kept me on my way of doing things. When I determine to drop weight, I'm gonna drop it. The reason for that is I know exactly what I have to do. I'm gonna do a low carb, high protein diet. I'm gonna take a vitamin every day. I'm gonna stop drinking coffee. And what else? I don't remember I think there's a fourth thing, but here's the thing: when you're trying to drop weight, and you do a high protein, low carb diet, it takes you about anywhere from 2 to 4 days to get into a state of ketosis.
Right.
So that one cheat meal sets you back between 2 and 4 days. So you're going to have to go through it all over again for another 2 to 4 days to get back to where you are currently if you're in a state of ketosis. So,
which I've done that diet. I know what it's like.
So, I mean, I've done it several times, and it is really a lifestyle as opposed to, if you're thinking of it as a diet, it really is a way of life. It's it's a lifestyle. It's a mentality. But if you go through it and you're willing to give up 2 days of having to go back through it, so be it. But I like the way it felt when I started dropping weight. And it wasn't that the scale said this number or that number. It was because I felt more comfortably physically. And wait a minute, what was the question?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, people come up with resolutions all the time. So why do you think they fail, at the end of the day?
Well, because I guess because they think, that, well, I've already given in to this craving. I've already given in to this desire or to this, want. And I've already, broken my diet. They don't understand that tomorrow's another day. And they need to understand that, it's a step back. It's a setback or a step back, but tomorrow's another day. You're in it for the long haul. This is not a sprint. It is a marathon.
Marathon, right? And one of the things I kind of, it's kind of interesting. And one of the reasons why I even picked this topic was because I realized that when it comes to New Year's resolutions, most people always go for the diet factor, right? And your resolution can be anything. It could be financial freedom, all these different things. And for me when I thought about the topic, and I was like, well, okay, if you have, most people have multiple resolutions that they decide they're going to do for the year. And to me, your health is the most important one, because if you're not here, you can't accomplish the other ones, right? Right?
Every day above ground is a good day.
Right. So for me, it's like, okay, so say you decide that you're going to do all these different resolutions, of course, your health being one of them, and you fail at the health one. Are you as discouraged if you fail that, say you decided that you were going to, pay off all your bills and save some money in the bank? Do you feel like there's a discernment between one versus the other? Because, one's your health, one's your financial status, and they both affect each other.
Yeah.
Right. But, and again, I'm just using these two as an example, because you could have multiple resolutions of things you want to do in your life and mindset changes and all that stuff. But if you fail at one and you're successful at the other, how do you navigate back to the one that you failed at? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good question.
Because you have to do something right to you got one right, but you didn't get the other one right. So how do you how do you navigate back to like, okay, my original goal was to be fit and be debt free. I accomplished the debt free thing, but I didn't accomplish the so at some point you probably put more emphasis into one than the other. So how do you navigate back to the one that you failed at?
Well, to be honest with you, I think it's possible. I think that it depends. For example, I work an awful lot of hours at work. I would like to be in better shape, but I also have this YouTube thing going. I've noticed that some of the YouTubers out there, I think Miss TT, Miss TikTok's Mixed Vlogs, you know, I think that she's doing this thing right now where she's 30 days.
30 days, yeah.
So that's one aspect. Now, I guess you could involve that with walking or something, you know, and be able to create an environment where you're getting healthier, but then maybe you're not. For me, I'm working a lot. I'm not able to focus so much on the getting in shape. But at some point, it should still be in the back of your mind, because that's, you know, if you think about it, resolution should be in order to make you better.
Better, yeah.
You know, after all, who's going to make a resolution to make, oh, I want to gain an extra 30 pounds of fat this summer? You know, but for some people, maybe it's gain more muscle or something. I don't know. But you know, ultimately, there's still this belief instilled in your head, or there wouldn't have been any need for a resolution to begin with. You know, understand, I guess, if they could just understand that it's an ongoing thing, a lifestyle instead of just a temporary change, then it could be as simple as just understanding you need to develop those pathways in the brain to where that is the new normal.
So you end up coming up with a plan anyway, right? So
yeah.
if you decide that you're gonna lose weight, you have to come up with a plan. So you say, all right, I'm gonna work out based on my work schedule 3 days a week. Like for example, I don't know if you watch Barry Walking for Health channel. You know, him and his wife walk every day. And it's crazy to think that people think that, I got to be in the gym pumping iron to be healthy. And walking is actually one of the best exercises out there, because it's less impactful on your body, especially as you get older, you know. And they walk every day, and you know, your body builds muscle memory, right? Your body builds muscle memory. So over time, yeah, you might start out, it's gonna hurt the first couple, maybe week or two, and then as your body builds up that muscle memory, your body's gonna get used to it. Just like everything else you do in life, you know, if you decide that, hey, I'm gonna be financially responsible, and as you start learning to you know, get your bills paid on time and put some money in the bank and prepare for a rainy day, you develop, like you said, that brain muscle, that muscle memory. And now it's a lifestyle versus a resolution. You know, now it becomes a lifestyle where you live by it, and you're like, I'm making sure I'm taken care of. I'm making sure my kids are taken care of, you know. So it's that mental development of, hey, you know, so then you don't have to wait till January or December. You know, you're going to spend more money in Christmas because it's the holidays. You're going to buy gifts for the family and all this other stuff that comes with that territory. But you know that, like you said, by February, I got 8 months of get right. You know, I love that philosophy. You know, like I got 8 months of get right, so I'm on the plus side regardless. I got 4 months of just eating wrong, drinking beer, you know, spending some extra money, you know, whatever it is. But then I know I got 8 months of just get right. So it kind of, to me, it's a better balance than it is of kind of flip flopping every other month. You know, okay, you know.
Yeah, I can see that. Right now, you know, I'm my focus at the moment. I waited till I was 50 years old before I became a police officer.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
I was at 50 years old when I went through the police academy, and I passed most of them folks.
Wow. I guess 30. I was 35 when I went to the police academy. I thought I was old.
I was actually the oldest person in my class to graduate. There were a couple of people that went into it a little bit older, but they didn't graduate. So, you know, anyhow, I didn't have a job that had a pension before where I'm at now. And so I never focused so much on retirement. I just figured I'd have to work my whole life. But these days, my focus is, I guess it's kind of you could call it a resolution, but it's not a 1 year thing. It's not a New Year's Day thing. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Now I've got to maintain this lifestyle for at least 2 or 3 more years, right? Because I've got a limited window at which to build up my pension. There's 2 factors in building up a pension. One is the average of your highest 4 paid years, and the other is the longevity, how many years you worked. If you think about the second factor, how many years you worked, well, I was almost 50, less than 2 months shy of turning 50 when I started working there. So, you know, for me to make the 30 years, which is what's normally for the pension, you can retire on age, but to make the 30 years, I would have to work till I was right at 80 years old. I may not even live that long. So, so what I have done is there's another factor I can work on. And that is and I guess you could say that is my resolution, even though I don't think of it as a resolution. I just think of a goal that I have to reach. And so if I work at least 64 hours a week, which I've been doing for almost 2 years now, then that will increase my average high 4. So it's like I increased the years, if that makes sense.
No, I understand. I totally understand. Yeah.
But I don't look at it as a resolution as much as, you know, I've thought about it. I realize that it's going to be necessary if I want to ever retire. You know, it's just something I got to do. Doesn't matter if some days I'm tired. Doesn't matter, you know. And I guess, you know, if you were trying to, you know, get healthy and what have you, you know, that's ultimately what you got to do. You got to go through and set your mind. This is just how it is, and do it. So, if you fail a day, you know, it ain't the end of the world. Step up the next day and, you know, get after it.
And I'm glad you said that, because I was just about to ask you, like, what would you say to convince somebody that's probably already quit on their New Year's resolution? Like, how do you get them back on track? You know?
I tell them toughen up, get over it, do what you're supposed to do. You know, I don't know. I ain't gonna beg them to, because they're the ones that set their own. If you're not worth it, you know, if you don't feel like you're worth it, then why would you do it to begin with? You know, or maybe that's the wrong way to put that.
Well, I mean, I agree that you can't force people to do what they don't want to do, right? You know, you can make recommendations. You know, we have a saying in Jamaica: you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Or in some cases, a donkey. In Jamaica, we say a donkey, right? You can lead to a donkey to water, you can't make them drink.
My daddy always said, and it's almost basically the same thing: a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. You cannot, you know, you can't make somebody want it. So
absolutely.
But if they set the resolution to begin with, it's something they want, or at least would like to have. And if it's worth it, then get after it. If you fail a day, no big, you know, start it over the next day. Every day is a new day.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And that's the one thing I tell people all the time, that you know I'm an optimist, so for me the glass is always half full, you know, and that's why I say for me resolutions aren't necessary, because I'm a self evaluator, right? Always look into myself and be like, you know what, I can do better at this, I can do better at that, or you know, this is something I need to do, and I'm constantly reevaluating myself of what I can do better, right? Not worried about, because I always say you can't worry about the things of the past. If it already happened, it's already happened. Don't, you know, I'm a problem solver. Like you know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
And if it's already happened, it's already happened. There's nothing. The only thing we can do about it is try to figure out how to fix that problem, right?
That's right.
And at the end of the day, you know, resolutions are about correction, or the next step forward, you know, as Trudy just said, let's grow. All right. So every day, like you said, is a new day. Henhouse just said it. Every day is a new day. Every day you wake up, you get a new opportunity to fix something that, and it's on you. It's not, you don't have to worry about what other people think about you, or you not doing it, or whatever. It's all up to you. It's in your head. It's in your, because nobody's in your head think, you know, listening to your mind or reading your mind and saying, you know, Trinity's got to do this, Red's got to do that, you know, Desert Living's got to do this, you know, Loop's got to do. It's all in your head, and you are the one that controls your thought process. And you know, when we talk, but because we group it into a word, you know, resolution. So it's like, okay, January is coming. All right, I got to do better. You know, and you're like, well, you could have been better 6, 8 months ago. You know, you didn't have to wait till January to do better. You know, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to ask the question. I just wanted to get people's comments in about why. Oh, Henhouse, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Thanks for participating in the chat. You know, I'm trying to keep up with the chat as well, so I'm trying to respond to your comments as well. But like I said, anybody that wants to come up on the panel, you know, we are about an hour and 17 minutes in. We're trying to keep it between an hour and a half, no more than 2 hours. But I appreciate everybody that's always on this live and making the conversation, you know, great. And you know, at the end of the day, these are conversations that people, sometimes people just need motivation, you know. Sometimes people just need somebody. And I'll give you a quick story. When I was gone for that 3 weeks, right? um I was out of the loop. I was on a security detail. So anyway, I'm in this gym, Gold's Gym, and this guy, he had to be about 80 years old, right? Had to be a minimum. So he walks into the I'm gonna post the link again. He walks into the coming into the gym, and he's got on this he's got on like the old school, what do they call that, you know, the sweatband. He's got the old school sweatband on. He's got the old Marine gym shorts, you know, they call them Ranger panties, you know. And I'm looking at the guy, and I'm like, man, I was like, this old dude just wasting time in the gym. What is he doing here? You know? And he goes up on the pull-up bars, right? Pulls himself up, and he starts doing this thing they call the windshield wipers. So basically, you're hanging by your arms, and then your legs are doing this, just back and forth. And the dude does, I mean, he does like 3 or 4, probably about 5 sets of it. I'm saying he's up there for like 3, 4 minutes. So just this part alone, holding your body up here, and then being able to maneuver so his core is ridiculous, right? And I had to say, Jesus, forgive me, because I was judging. You know, I had to, I had to ask for forgiveness, because I was judging. I looked at the guy, but what that did for me was like it motivated me to say, you know what, I need to get myself back in the gym. Like I need to get back in shape because if this guy can get up every day and go to the gym because it's his health. So it's for him, it's a lifestyle. He's not waiting until January, to after he eats all the turkey and ham and all the stuff that he eats to go to the gym. You could tell it's a everyday lifestyle because he wouldn't be in the shape he's in if it was just a New Year's resolution thing, So that just kind of motivated me. I was like, man, I need to go ahead and get back on my grind, But that was my story,
Well, that's awesome.
I pinned the link back. Let me pin the link back in the chat. Somebody asked to put it back in there. But go ahead.
I was just going to say, ultimately I think that some resolutions, I won't say all, but I think some resolutions are a reflection of love of self. You have to love yourself in order to want to do better than what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And obviously, if you made a resolution, you think something needs to be improved or you can do better. And so that's a day in, day out thing. Doesn't mean that you're not going to fail from time to time, but you should understand that tomorrow's another day. Just because I failed on myself yesterday, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Your reputation is more important, or your character is more important than your reputation. Mm-hmm. And so, if that's what you think will make you better, whether it's physically, whether it's mentally, whether it's strategically, or for work or whatever, then don't give up on yourself. It's ultimately, a reflection of your how much you love yourself, I think, to some degree.
I agree. Like, one, you can't love anybody else until you love yourself, Right. And you have to take care. I just pinned the link back in the chat, but as they say, no one's going to take care of you but you, right? Nobody knows how to take care of you better than you do, and there are so many influences out there of, again, it's more of a commercial thing. It's like, I even look at Christmas, like I grew up in the church, right? And I mean, every Sunday religiously at church, pun intended, but every Sunday at church, I mean, I would be at church. If my mom's in the chat, I don't know if she's watching, but like we literally go to church Sunday morning and we don't go home till Sunday night. We eat dinner at church. And one of the things I learned over time, because, I went to a Catholic school, but my church that my mom went to was an evangelist church. It's like night and day, right? Catholic church is like quiet, you barely hear anybody say anything. You break bread, drink wine, You go to evangelist church and it's wild, it's off the hook. But the one thing I learned from that was that it doesn't matter what religion you believe in, because at the end of the day, we all believe in a supreme being, right? We all believe, like, regardless of what culture you come from, I feel like it's by design that we all believe in some supreme being, regardless of where you come from or what your beliefs are. So whether you believe in one God or 1,000 gods, or whatever your religion is, I don't think there was a mistake in the fact that we all believe in something.
I do believe just that same way, and I know, we went to one of them churches where they had guitars and drums, and it was completely different than some of the other churches you run into out there. But mm-hmm. I got to admit that here of late, I began to question whether or not, because other people, you run across people that are professed atheists. You run across people that are you know, I like to believe that everybody believes as I do, but oftentimes, I have to admit that these days it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to, and no, there's no intention of disrespecting what you said whatsoever.
Mhm.
But it's, I don't know that everybody believes that way these days, especially in such a time when there's so much division out there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would rather be somebody who merged or joined together and acted as a peacemaker than somebody who was, trying to create division.
Hmm.
There are some things we should all be able to agree on. Food, food in our belly, roof over our heads, work hard to achieve, a work ethic. I think a
Hmm.
lot of people may be even leaving that part out, but I don't know. It's
Yeah. I mean, there. It's crazy. They say you can put babies from all walks of life in a room and they'll play with each other.
right.
You know, and that's because they have no biases, right? They haven't learned. It's most of the things we learn are mostly, and the key word is learned. It's learned behaviors, right? As we get older, we learn based on our culture and where we grew up and so forth. But the fact that it's about understanding, right? One of the things I learned a long time ago, I learned this actually during COVID, and I remember I was deployed overseas. It was my last deployment in 2020. It's right when COVID started. And this was right after the whole George Floyd situation happened, right? So everything was tense, between law enforcement and the local population, and COVID was in full effect, and people were just all over the place. And I remember we had to have a conversation with my troops, right? At the time, I was responsible for over 1,500 troops deployed overseas, and we had to have this panel discussion on just kind of get people to kind of vent their frustrations. So we essentially had all the guys that were either military, police, or civilian law enforcement. I was in the reserve, so I'm kind of both, right? And I remember this one young kid. He was one of my troops from my squadron, and I remember him come up and he's like, "Hey, I agree with rioting," and I was like, "Well, why do you?" I don't get it. Why do you? I mean, you're a military police. Why do you agree with rioting? And he's like, well, you know, where he kind of explained where he grew up, and he said most governments don't pay attention till you start affecting the money, you know. And at the end of the day, I told him, I said, I don't agree with the rioting part of it, but I understand where you're coming from, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about understanding, right? We don't have to agree on everything, but we can understand why we feel the way we feel because we're raised in, we grew up in different places, we're raised in different cultures. But communication is a two-way street, right? So if you're willing to listen to someone else's opinion and you don't have to agree, but you understand why they feel the way they feel, then that makes a big difference.
That's true. It's there's also another saying that I think is very appropriate to what and I think it may be come from Zig Ziglar. And I could be listening to the wrong person, but I've heard it before. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So, and it's just they want to know that you have, you're actually listening to what, and not listening because so many times today people are listening just to respond.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for some way to come back and say, you're wrong because of this. You didn't take this into account. All this kind of stuff. Instead of finding places where they're in agreement. I think we may have strayed a little bit off the resolutions thing, but
yeah. But I mean, it is in kind of two sides of the street anyway, because I think if you're going to do a resolution, a good resolution is to have understanding, because like you said, we're so divided right now. I mean, as a country, as a community, as a world, and at the end of the day, you never know who's going to be that person that's going to help you, right? Because everybody's, again, we're on the same street, but everybody's in their own lane, right?
Right.
And everybody's just kind of rolling down until you need somebody. And you never know who that person's going to be. It might be the person that you ignored at the yell at a traffic light or something like that. And next thing you know, you get in an accident out in the street, and that's that same person that's ripping you out of a vehicle. I've been in that situation, where not that I had an argument, but like, I remember coming back from one of my partners at work. We're driving back, and next thing I know, I see a cloud of smoke. Some guy had basically passed out behind the wheel, came across 3 lanes of traffic he was going southbound. He cut across 3 lanes of traffic going northbound. And by the grace of God, no one got killed. I mean, he literally shaved out the front of some lady's vehicle. And we ended up having to jump out, and we tried our best to try to kind of get that door open. And there were so many different people out there trying to help, and I mean, he was already passed away. His wife was still alive, so we were able to extract her from the vehicle. But it just shows that all the people that were there helping were from different walks of life. You know what I'm saying? And people tend to come together in times of desperation. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, why wait till it's a desperate situation for us to come together when we have this opportunity to do it now? You know what I'm saying?
100%. Reminds me of a story. I don't want to detract from anybody else that wants to come up and talk about resolutions, but I will tell a little story, a true story, hand to God. I was, I guess I ought to wait to see if it's okay with you if I tell a story.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm listening.
I was driving one day
Don't
down.
mind me. I'm listening. I'll be right back.
All right.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'll try to keep them entertained for a minute. I was driving down Highway 49, and that's a pretty major road, I guess, through here. It runs all the way from Jackson area down to the coast. And anyhow, I was driving here in Richland, and it was raining, and my car hit a water puddle, and it jumped the curb, and I was heading southbound, and there were 2 semis ahead of me coming northbound, and I was headed directly for these 2 18-wheelers. And they say that when you're about to die, your life flashes before your eyes. I didn't have time to think of a whole lot, but my life did not flash before my eyes. But I do remember thinking that Tammy, that's my wife. I thought she was going to be so sad. After all, how many times you see somebody go head on with an 18-wheeler and live?
Yeah.
So, but luckily, it was wet out, and there was apparently enough room to where my driver's side front tire caught, and it spun the car around to where I was facing the direction of travel. And I hit the gas, and there was a little pullover spot right there. I pulled over, and it was just wow. I just knew I was dead. But for the grace of God, I'm still here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And those are the kind of moments that kind of lets you know how insignificant we are as human beings, right? Because we have no control over. Again, the only thing we have control over is what's in front of us, you know. And I feel like it goes back to resolutions, right? Decisions that we make in life. Um, every day is a new crossroad, right? Every decision we make when we wake up is a different crossroad, and we come to multiple crossroads, and we make another decision, and we follow a path, and we have to make a decision every single decision that we make. And you know, when you're going back to resolutions, it's doing what's best for you, right? What best for you and your family, because you know, for
Yeah.
me, as a person, as I got older, you know, once, especially if you have children, right? Once you have children, you're more concerned about the future of your kids, right? Once I had kids, it was never about me anymore. It was about my next generation of making life easier for them. And I hope that, you know, when they eventually have kids, they're gonna think the same way. But it's the same thing with resolutions. It's about bettering yourself, right?
Yeah.
And like we discussed before, it's more about lifestyle change than it is about this one day, you know, January 1st, I'm gonna do this, when you know, August 1st, you could have done the same thing and you could have been 6 months into your resolution.
Yeah.
Whatever you decided, or like you said, so we're gonna make this official. February, and for all my people in the chat, February is the official January 1st, right? So now, if you decide to do a resolution, February is when you start your resolution, and you have 8 months to maintain your resolution, and then you have 4 months of cheat time. Oh, I got Jerry in the building. Jerry, what's going on, man?
Hey,
Okay,
Jerry.
you got your microphone muted, I believe.
I
Hold
don't
on.
think.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. What's up, bro?
What's going on, Jerry?
You know, I couldn't resist seeing you live. And I mean, like I said, I've been feeling a little bit better. I'm like on a ton of meds. I've been.
I can
sick,
tell you sound better.
Doc gave me a whole bunch of meds and stuff, so I've been taking it and staying inside and not pushing myself to go out fishing and get myself damn sick again. So it's like I had the flu, and then it developed into bronchitis, pneumonia type deal, and it messed me up pretty bad that I couldn't go back to work this week and stuff like that. So I had to just stay in. But I mean, like I said, New Year resolutions, I see it. Live a healthier life. That's it.
Not by choice, right? Not by choice.
So, and not lying to myself on that one after what I just went through from Christmas and New Year's. Being sick the whole holidays sucks. But, you know, I mean, I got to stay inside and, you know, chill out.
Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt. I just want to let y'all say thank you for letting me up on panel, and y'all have a blessed day. God bless y'all. Blessings to all y'all in the chat and on the panel.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for hanging with me. You know, I appreciate you.
Oh, he ran off pretty quick.
Yeah, Jerry.
He's been
there for. I mean, he's been my only guest all night. He's the only one that ain't scared to come up and talk.
Oh wow! You know what's so funny? I was actually on Team Chef Live. I actually went down there and met up with Team Chef Live. I was on his live. Hothead was over there. A couple other people was over there.
Oh, for real? Okay.
And yeah, Marine Mom, Army Mom, Trinidad. Big up yourselves. Seasons, everybody. Good night. Bless up yourselves. I'm sorry about that, guys. But I was just jumping around and I seen you live and I was like, why not? I'm already on a roll already. I'm on everybody else's live. Why not just jump on Winslow live tonight? So, but Mr. Say live,
Jerry, what's your New Year's resolution, man? Did you even have one?
I have a few, not just one, a few, and I'm trying not to lie to myself. I'm trying my best not to and fulfill every single one of them that I can. That's humanly possible. Mm-hmm. Some of them is not going to be humanly possible at the time, but I'm going to try my best to make it happen. But like, far as like doing things different, far as sickness and health, Try to maintain a distance between sick people and myself this year. Just one of the main things I have to, because I just don't want to get sick like this again. This is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things. Next thing is just being more productive with my days, using my days more productive and making sure that each hour counts, because you only have 24 hours in one day. And people got to understand that is that there's time to rest, and there's time that you eat and use bathroom and those kind of things. And then there's that 12-hour gap that you work.
Yeah.
So I'll let's say 12, just to make it fair. You know what I'm saying? 12-hour gap you're gonna work, and it's like, it is what it is. I mean, you just have to just make these goals and set them and just try to achieve each one that you can.
Mm-hmm. And you can't. I mean, at the end of the day, one of my philosophies on life is you can't worry about things you don't have control over. You know,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
you can only control what you control, and at the end of the day, for me, if I have no control over it, then there's no reason for me to worry about it. What stress is one of the
No.
biggest uh what's the word I'm looking for? I guess I can't use the word unalive. One of the biggest things that hurt people in general. And
And
to me, it's like
what's so
it's wasted energy, right?
you know
Wasted
what's so
energy.
ironic? What's so ironic that you said that, Winston? It's like poor me sitting here at home from like December 20 something before Christmas. And then I thought I felt better because the medication made you feel better for a little bit. And then it's like
Mhm.
it wasn't working. It went bam. So I had to go back to the doctors twice after that to actually, when my doctor came back from vacation, because I seen a new doctor, which it didn't work out for me. So poor me sitting on my house now, sitting here thinking, damn, I need to get back to work. Things are gonna be stirred up without me, and whatever the case might be, I need to do what I need to do because I do so much. And then I thought to myself, and I'm like, bro, if you die today, guarantee you tomorrow you're gonna be replaced. So just remember that tomorrow morning you're gonna be replaced with someone else who's gonna be sitting in your seat the same way. It don't matter. Take care of your
Mhm.
damn self. And that's one of the
Mhm.
main things for your New Year's people. Take care of yourself. Don't sit there and play this hero game. Make sure you are okay. Because without you, your household is probably gonna be in disarray because
It's
you're not
alright.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
But
like,
even then, the one thing I learned, Jerry, and I'll tell you this, just the fact that you mentioned that every time that I deployed to a combat mission overseas, that's one of the things I was worried about. And then I realized, you know what? It's gonna sort itself out because Lynn was there and she took care of the family when I was gone. And it kind of gave me a sense of peace to know that if based on my career field, my job that I do, I was in the military, I'm in law enforcement, so I'm in two of the most two jobs that at any given day I cannot come home, and it gave me a better feeling to know that if I I know it's going to be a bad situation for her, but I was happy to know that if I wasn't there, that she was going to be able to take care of the family and take care of herself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man, for
And
real, for real.
that kind of puts your mind at ease when it comes to that, where when you know that, like you said, life goes on whether you're here or not, you know you know and it's kind of funny. One of my bosses that I work for, he says this all the time. He says, at the end of the day, none of this matters. The only thing that matters is who you love, who loves you, who you care about, and who cares about you. That's the only thing that matters in life. So
That's right.
everything else is a distraction. Everything else is a
For real,
distraction.
for real.
So it's like people get so caught up in New Year's resolutions and I gotta do this and all this other stuff. But it's like the most precious thing we have is life, you know. And I feel like until people realize that every day you wake up, you have an opportunity to be better, do better, live the life, because everybody have their problems, everybody have their issues and all this other stuff. But at the end of the
Oh yeah, of
day,
course.
every day you wake up, you have an opportunity to fix that or get it right. Or if you don't get it right, then you try again tomorrow, you know? So if you have
Yeah.
that mindset, like life is easy, everything else is a distraction, you know?
But the only thing is that I have to say to that, Winston, is that everybody handles different
Stress.
problems different.
Yeah,
Different.
absolutely.
Each person faces it different. Some people they eat. Some people will just face it head on and deal with it then and there. Where some people run.
Mm-hmm.
So each person deals with situations different, and that's one of the things that I deal with people a lot on a daily basis. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
sometimes you have to. It's a give and take situation in society itself, in
Mm-hmm.
your daily movements that you move.
No, I agree.
Because as a people person, you tend to know how to read people. Just seeing them straight up, you're like, okay, got your character already. I got your levels of thinking. Just even 2 words out their mouth, you're like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I got
I
you.
know what you were about. Yeah, yeah.
So
But that's life, man. And again, you can be either glass half empty or you can be glass half full. Me
yep.
personally, I'm a glass. I say it consistently. I'm a glass half full kind of person because bad things happen. In this world, there's only 2 types of people: good people and bad people.
Oh yeah,
That's,
that's it.
that's it. You know, and you're gonna come across both if you live long enough throughout your lifetime. You're gonna come across good. Doesn't matter where they're from, what culture they're from, what job they're in, how much money they have. There's just good people and bad people. And once you figure that out, life is so much easier because again, everything else is a distraction. You know,
Yes, Margaret, big up yourself. Mr. Get it right.
I
Big up
read,
yourself.
I read that, man. I read,
Okay, Reds.
I
Big up
read,
yourself.
yeah,
Big up yourself.
man.
All right. Cool, man. You too, police. Big up yourself, same way.
Yeah. And there
Yeah,
you go.
man. So,
God
yeah,
give us
man.
a gift, man. Like God give us a gift where we can look at people and say, yeah, as what you say, you talk to somebody for 5 minutes and you say, say,
Yeah, man.
what if my spirit not take you, you know?
A serious thing,
That's
man, because once a person walk in that room, the energy, I can feel the energy like right away. It's
hmm
like it's like I was born with this feeling, bro. Yeah, I just feel it like
we all
okay.
are. We all are.
Yeah,
It's
man.
that thing in the back of, some people call it the sixth sense, right?
Yep.
Where in the back of your mind, because even if you weren't taught good or over bad, we all know what there's this one sense that says, so I'm not supposed to do this.
Mm-hmm.
you know? And even if you weren't taught that in school, you know for a fact that what you're doing is not right, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the way we're built that way. Some people choose to embrace it, some people choose to ignore it. That's on you. If you ignore it, eventually it probably comes back to bite you. You should have it's one of those situations you're like, man, I know I wasn't supposed to be here, or I shouldn't have done this.
Mm-hmm.
But you knew it before you actually did it, and you had a choice
Yeah,
to do
man.
it.
Yes,
So
for real, for real.
I mean, you talk all the time. We talk about a lot of different things, and that's one of the things I'm very cognizant about is that, and that's the reason why I'm saying pick that topic here, because there are so many people that just wait for one time of the year to make a resolution when they could just be that way all year. And if they were making
All right.
resolution, if you were doing a daily resolution, it would be so much easier to deal with a lot of the stresses that you have in your life.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Blessings, devil dog.
Miss
Hoorah.
TT Mix Vlogs came into the house. Devil Dog, big up yourself. And then Marine Army Mom and Marine
So
Army Mom.
Jerry, let me ask you this question since you're there up here. Have you ever done a New Year's resolution that failed?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it has happened. It's not something that hasn't happened, but you try your best to make it the best that you can out of it to make sure that at least 50 to 60% of it you got done, at least that minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has failed, but at least I know that at least 60% of it for that year is going to be completed because I know I failed. I didn't meet the deadline like I
But you
had
didn't
planned.
give up. You didn't give up.
No, but at least made sure that I continued and I didn't stop until I completed what I said I was going to complete, and that's it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's things that failed, and this thing that failed wickedly. I was like, okay, we didn't even do it.
And you never know when
And
that
that's
next
that.
blessing is gonna be there, right?
You never even did it, so that's total failure by not even doing it. You made the plan to do it, and just total failure. And
Yeah, man.
that's not you. Yeah. So
Yeah. But and that's the thing, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, New Year's resolutions don't fail because people are weak. They fail because change is harder than January makes it look, you know?
yeah.
So if you're still trying, that matters, you know? As long
Mhm.
as you're still trying, that matters. As long as you don't give up on whatever your goals and ambitions are, dreams are, then that's all that matters. You don't, you know what I'm saying? You know, as long as you don't quit, you know,
For real, for real.
you have to put on. I think somebody mentioned it earlier in the chat. They say you have to plan, and you know, one of my other mottos is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You know, no, you have to expect that not every plan is going to go according to what you hope is going to be, right?
Yeah,
And
man.
that's why you have contingencies to every plan, right? That's that fork in the road where you might have to take a detour and go somewhere else, you
For
know,
real, for
to deal with a situation. You know, perfect example. You know, nobody in Jamaica at the time expected that this storm was going to be as bad as it was, right? And I feel like it takes a bad situation for people to start to really prioritize what's important to them, you know. And I remember even COVID, it was so crazy how people actually start realizing what was important to them. Celebrity and them, all these things that are going up on TV wasn't important. What was important was your survival, you know. And when you get in that survival mode,
yes, this
you
season
start
says
to.
she's going to bed. Sorry about that.
All right, season. Thank you for checking
Season,
in.
big up yourself. Yep, yep.
Good
Big up
night. I
yourself.
know it's late where you are. I appreciate you for. I kept you up past
Mhm.
your bedtime. Get your past your bedtime. Like I said, we're in a good zone right now because we're about an hour and 52 minutes into the chat. I've been trying to keep it to about an hour and a half, but 2 hours is like a good
Mhm.
end time, you know. But
Yeah. That's a decent live right there. And remember,
yeah,
my live used to run to 2 hours. I kind of cut it back to an hour now, Winston, because the times that I come in from work, sometimes I'm so tired, and
man.
being outside in the sun all day on projects after the hurricane was like crazy because everything's torn up, and
Oh,
you have to cut your way through things. You can't just drive through things. You have to cut your way through things.
look, Desert Living, you don't even know. These lives, this tiki bar used to be like 4 hours because he used to
Yeah,
get
man.
out of control.
Yeah, bro.
But
The place right now, the place there's still trees falling in places that hasn't been cut up yet. A lot of places.
oh yeah, and I know there's a lot of people right now that still need
Yeah.
help, you know, and so forth. So, you know, kind of going off the rail for a little bit, but you know, for the
Yeah.
people in Jamaica, just understand that just because the hurricanes has been a couple of months, that there's still a lot of people that need help too. So, you know,
Yeah.
I mentioned this in the beginning when this whole hurricane thing started, that you know, if you want to help, you can donate. There's all these different charities. Just make sure that you do your research and give to the charities that are actually helping, because there are a lot of
Yeah,
scammers out
and
there.
that it goes to the right thing and the right persons.
Yes,
Because
yes,
yeah, and it's not recommended that you drive yourself into places. It's not a good idea. So
yeah, yeah. And if you're
it's
going
the
to
best
Jamaica,
thing.
just know that things are not back to normal
No,
as people
as it's
people think.
supposed to be. Yeah, as it's
Yeah, as it's
supposed to be. It's
supposed to
not.
be.
Because right
You know.
now I live in the city and my internet, my regular normal cable line internet is still down. It's not up yet.
Hmm.
And that's crazy for being in town.
Yeah.
You know, the company is right down the road for me. Everything's close. So I mean, I was that close that Team Chef Life was on his live, and I caught him on his live here at home. I was on the laptop right here, and I was like, all right. He's like, yo, sure fishing, I come leave me. So I was like, all right, man, I come check it. I'm soon come. I'm jumping out car in 2 minutes. I'm at his foot. He's like, oh, they go shore fishing, pulling up. So I pulled up and walked over there. And I was in his live for like 5 minutes, and I just went in the supermarket and just I'm jumping around and came up. So, yeah.
Yeah, and as what Desmond say, time fly by. But when you have a good conversation, when you can have a good conversation, time is not a factor.
Oh yeah,
people
especially when you have an adult mature
Yeah.
conversation about legit stuff that people actually, how would you say, and you create that link, Winstone, and that's why I love your live more time, because you talk about some hot topics, and then you get into these topics, and they get deep at times. You know what I mean? and it's interesting when someone can get topics like these out, and it makes your life a lot better.
Yeah, and I just for me it's I can have this. I love having that same when I'm face to face with people that I meet up with. I have those same conversations, because sometimes you never know. Sometimes people have this something going on, and you never know. Just that one conversation can talk somebody off the ledge. People have situations going on in their lives, and they just need somebody to kind of vent to. Sometimes people just need somebody they can listen to, or listen to them. You know what I'm saying? Where you're just there as a sponge, absorbing a lot of stress that they just wanted to. I have this bad habit of people just always wanted to tell me things. I guess I have a face where people just say, you look like you like to listen to people, and sometimes people just need an outlet where they can just sit down and talk to somebody, and that's what I try to offer with this platform, to where anyone can come up here and just kind of, again, within reason, vent, and we can have a good conversation. As I said, we don't have to agree, but we have an understanding of why we feel the way we feel.
Yeah. That's
so,
it.
and like I said, I appreciate everyone in the chat that's don't feel like I haven't been looking at your comments, and I'm trying to multi-sequence, because multitasking is not a real thing. You can only do one thing at a time, right? So I've been trying to read the chat and just kind of, that's why I posted the chat on the screen so everybody can comment. And I love the interaction. So Trini saying my alien. Trini, so I'm just gonna address Trini real quick, because Trini mentioned this. Trini say he believes in aliens. Trini, I believe in aliens as well. We're not talking about illegal aliens. We're talking about the aliens from above. So here's my perspective, and the chat's about to go wild right now. So I believe aliens look just like us. I don't think God created just one Earth. I feel like there's another. Everything God doing are two. Remember that. All right. So there's another world that's just like the Earth, with human beings. They might be more advanced than us, and they might have visited us, but they look just like us. All right. So that's your aliens. All right. They ain't dudes with big eyes and all this other crazy stuff they put on TV. That's just to scare you. All right. Because fear is a thing. People hate what they fear, or don't understand what they fear. All right. So if we can put you up against aliens, then you have this thing where you're ready to fight aliens, not knowing that the aliens are walking amongst us already. All right. So Trini, that's for you. That is for you, Trini. All right. So for anybody else that believe in aliens or don't believe in aliens, that's your receipt for this chat right here. Stone believe in aliens, all right, but they look just like us, all right. See,
Yeah.
Desert Living believe that too, all right. So,
all right,
don't go for the nonsense. God always show you how we.
Yeah, man. So yeah, Winstone. So big up yourself, and thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah, Jerry, bless
Um,
up yourself. And for you guys that's in the chat that don't know, Jerry does his live every Wednesday night. Well, now that he's feeling better, but Jerry does his live. What's it? 8 p.m. Central Time, which is
Eastern time, Jamaica, and then 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
USA.
Eastern
Yeah,
Time, right?
yeah,
So 8 p.m. Central
uh,
Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So
yeah,
Jerry is
yeah.
a there. If you haven't been over to Jerry's channel or you haven't subscribed to Jerry, go over to Jerry. Check out his channel. He showcases everybody else's channels. I should have had you do that when you came up, but we're almost
Yeah,
at we're at the 2 hour mark. But make sure
yeah.
so Wednesday night when we go over to Jerry channel and link up. Jerry always showcase
All
everybody
right,
channel.
TT.
All right.
All
And
right,
Desert Living, I want to give a shout out to Desert Living for hanging with me tonight. Since everybody else act like them shy, even though them are do some people are
yes,
do
best of the desert living, man.
30 day, yeah. Some people are do 30-day live, but them can't come up on my live. It's all right, Miss TT. Are you me I talk about?
Oh boy.
But yeah.
So, yep. Miss Marine, Army mom is the mod, definitely a mod there.
Oh
She's
yeah,
always.
yeah. She's always
I mean,
supporting.
everybody gets a blue wrench when they come over. I mean, like I leave it open because you can just easily jump to the next person's channel quick and fast and subscribe real quick and then jump back in if you have to.
Yeah,
Um,
same here. Same here.
so yeah, everybody gets a wrench when you come in. It's just free. Just respect each other and just keep it civil. That's it.
Mhm. And I
And
appreciate
that's how we do.
everybody I
Yeah.
mean that's on the live. Then I'm hoping that as the year goes on, part of your New Year's resolution will be to come up on the Tiki Bar live one day. Oh, and before I go, I know Lynn came in earlier. She was mentioning that we were on some projects. So before I go, I wanted to show you what we were working on because we like fiddle
Go
things with
first.
self. Oh, she might be bringing something else, but we're working on some t-shirts. So what I said, Jerry?
All right.
Yeah.
No, I said it was breaking up for a second. I guess the signal
Oh,
was
okay.
going in and out. I don't know what's causing that, but it was like chip chopping up for a second.
Okay, so I was saying that we're working on some things. Ooh, we're working on some things. All right. So we're gonna be featuring some new stuff coming out, and we are working on some t-shirts. So once we decide to start doing memberships, you can get your own custom t-shirt made. So you see what that say? You can see that? So
Oh,
it's a fire for that. Fire for that.
fire for that. Yeah.
So we're working on them. So here's a t-shirt that everybody calls me. You can see that one there?
Mm-mm.
What I'd say?
All right, there you go. Touch a boss.
Gotcha, boss. All right. And we've been working on this is what we've been working on this whole weekend. We're trying to figure out
Touch a boss. That one that should not say touch your belly.
well this is a beer food upon it. So
Touch your belly. You
are
have to
things
get
we're
that you have to get that Jamaican touch to it. Touch your belly.
see there?
No,
So this
that's a little
so
thing to it. Touch a boss. Press up still. You see Winston?
eh? So there it is. And then of course we're gonna be offering to our members as well. I'm offering you your own little bobblehead. And these are gonna be hand painted by me. This is one of me that I haven't finished painted yet. So I'm gonna be offering those as well. You know? So
Oh, okay.
we work on some
Damn.
things, we do some things. So
Yeah,
it's
I
gonna
have a cousin. I have a cousin that does 3D printing, Winston.
oh I got the machine. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
this
I
is
have
what
a cousin
this is where this came from. So
Okay.
it's gonna be one of our offerings, No, we're
All
not
right.
making no pork boss. We're not making no pork boss t-shirt. Him not deserve it. We're gonna make a pork alien t-shirt for him. Sir God, for blessings and welcome. Yeah. But we are getting ready to end the chat, So thank you guys again for checking in. We appreciate you all. Thank you all. As well, said, the new t-shirts and stuff is gonna be coming out on
That is it.
on the website. it slowly but surely. So, you know, me like to do things myself. So I will kind of show you some of the processes when we develop some of these things ourselves. All right. You
All
want on with
right.
that again? All right, T. All right, Trini. You're gonna have to send me the logo that you want on your shirt, you know. But again, thank you guys for checking in. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you, Desert.
What's
I
up, Winston?
appreciate you. Jerry, thanks for checking in. And we will see you on the next one. All right. So love you guys. And with that, you know, me have to play the Tiki Bar theme.
Winston Chronicles, you don't know. Lin.
See there?
Winston
Thank you.
Chronicles, you don't know.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you all. Love you
Me
all.
start with the camera, vision clear. Broadcasting live from right over here. Some people I wonder what me really do, but when them see the content, everything brand new. Just a preview of the life me living. This is what me giving. Jack of all trades, but me nah follow none. Wingstone Chronicles, see how the thing done. Subscribe and like, share the vibe. Jack of all trades, watch your channel run. Wingstone Chronicles is all about fun.
Fire for that.
Stone Chronicles, respect though. Chef Stone in the kitchen, watch the pot bubble. Mac and cheese boss, no trouble, no trouble. Mama Lynn sampling, taste buds tingling. Food critics watching a sample plate sinting. Hot sauce dripping, YouTube views climbing. I want me say, just chime in.
We want me read too. Oh my God.
Subscribe. When me need protection, got Ranger and Chloe. Backyard farming, everything growing. DIY projects, knowledge keeps flowing. World travel.
Okay, I'm still here. I'm still here. They said they want me to do a raid. So let me know Novelty Queen is up. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second, family. I will go over to Novelty Queen's channel. Give me 1 second. I gotta go into my studio. Give me 1 second, my people. I will go over to Novelty Queen and we gonna raid her. So it's gonna be Stone's raid. So let's get it set up. Sorry about it. I forgot I gotta set up a raid to get over to Novelty Queen. So customization. Content. Live. I remember how to do this. Don't forget. So Novelty Queen, customization, redirect. If you're paying attention, Novelty Queen, NOVELTY. All right, we're going over to Novelty Queen. So this is Winston, Food for Nam raid. All right, make sure someone type in Food for Nam raid. And we're going to go over to Novelty Queen. All right. So whenever I close out this live, we're going to go over to Novelty Queen and cause problem over up on our channel. So everybody, look, type in Fire raid. Fire raid. Fire raid. No. Let's go. Win. Stone. Raid. There we go. Rinstone raid. All right. Type that in. And we will go over to Novelty Queen and give her some blessings. All right. So you guys ready? When you're ready, give me a thumbs up. Give me a hands up. If you're not ready. Thank you, Miss TT, for reminding me that I need to raid somebody. All right. Appreciate and love you all. So we will see you guys. Stick on stay. We will see you guys over at Miss Novelty Queen. All right. So don't go too far. Winston raid. Winstone raid. Ready? Let's go. Good night, my people.